Hello YouTube and welcome to GrunfWorks. This is episode 23 of the Interplanetary Voyage of Exploration, and today we will be revisiting Moon. But first, let us do some research. My ultimate goal is, moon-wise, to develop a rover program that I would be able to use and go roving on the moon. However, I'm thinking now between the deployment method and the actual parts for building the rover, so I have decided to take the packrat package. That leaves us with 107 science, and let's see if there's anything practical that we can use for it. And I'm thinking the more advanced SRBs maybe, or something, let's see. Advanced jet engines, or VTOL is too expensive. So, advanced jet engines, or let's go with the advanced jet engines. We needed to get to the Rapier anyway. So, let us just spend our upgrade points to up our building speed for our spaceplane hangar. And then we have the science harvester, the one that we've built a while back, but it was sitting in our hangar. So, I figured it was time that we use that one, and yeah. So that would be kind of the idea. All the time while we're doing so, I mean, our Eve probe is being built. So, let us launch, and this is standard launch, nothing too special about it, so I'm just playing it at 4 times acceleration, stage separation, and then angling. We have obviously fixed the bug that we had with the staging, which would deploy the solar panels, which caused them to rip off. So it's an old design, but still very valid. We used it to do a little bit harvesting of the science on Minmus, and now we will go at least to get something out of Moon, because I need more science to be able to launch more advanced probes. Okay, so that being said, we're burning for the apoapsis. 100, perfect. Then let us extend it. And now looking at this map, I realize that I have probably hidden the comm satellites in the tracking station. So yeah, sorry about that. I'll fix it in a later version. We're coming up on our maneuver node burn. And 100 by 111, that's good enough for me. So, time to plan our transfer. Let's see, selecting Moon as target. And we want to be coming up on the Moon as it comes above the horizon, then we should be burning towards the Moon. So I'm figuring somewhere around here probably, and here we have a Moon encounter. I mean, Moon is pretty easy to get an encounter with, so it's not really that big of a deal. But okay, so let us switch the conics. See, oh, this is a very good Moon encounter, so let us just fix the inclination a little bit. And point the craft. I'm using RCS because I figured it's a little bit chubbier rocket, so it wouldn't hurt to use the RCS as well. So, focus back on the vessel, let us do the circle. Okay, and clearly I have also not set that the landers are visible as well, so my lander isn't showing. And I thought it was at first a bug, but then I realized it is actually the way tracking station reacts to all the map views. I didn't know that it replicates in all of the map views. So, yeah. Okay, so let us be prepared for the burn. we have 831 meters per second, and we have total of 408 roughly in this stage. Okay, and stage separation, and we're continuing to burn, and now I'm monitoring the burn from the map view, because I want to get as close as possible to this current orbit. So usually when you're going to Moon or Minmus, it's nice if you're accurate, but it's not like mission critical. However, if you're planning a bigger burns to like interplanetary space, like Eve, Duna, Joule, whatever, then you have to be really pinpoint accurate with your maneuver node and your burns to make sure that you get an encounter. For Moon and Minmus, it's a bit more forgiving. So okay, burning, and here we have an encounter. Let's just tweak it a little bit, because I liked the low periapsis that I got on the maneuver node. Yep, and I think that's good enough for me. So we have our periapsis, and now it is time that we quick save the game and accelerate the time until we get to the Moon's sphere of influence. So pretty much standard launch, nothing really extraordinary here, and we will be picking our landing site once we're in orbit around Moon. So first things first, now at the periapsis we will burn for orbit. More or less circular orbit, and let us just point in the direction of the maneuver node. And where is Moon? Ah, here you are, Moon. Hi. So, time accelerating while the Moon comes ever closer and closer. And here we are, 3 minutes away from our maneuver node. Our reliable Kerbal alarm clock reminds us of this. And you'll notice, speaking of Kerbal alarm clock, that our window for the Eve launch is coming closer. That means that a probe that we have built a while back will be coming to a launch. So I don't know if it's a problem for you guys for me to build in one episode a ship and then launch in another, but given that when playing with Kerbal construction time, it only makes sense that some building of stuff takes a bit of time, and I figured if I'm playing it on a mission by mission, just build, launch, I'm not really playing as both Kerbal alarm clock and Kerbal construction time would like me to, because also it becomes more and more pronounced when we come to interplanetary missions, because then missions take years, and all the time while I'm kind of piloting that mission, nothing is really happening with KSC or the building or stuff. So I figured, well, let us run more like Kerbal Space Program rather than Kerbal Space Mission. So yeah. Let me know in the comments your opinions. I will obviously read them and see if I can adapt, but I think it sort of gives more idea of progression of time. I might actually post in the link of the comments, for example, like on how this is the episode where I actually built the lander. So if I'm, let's say, in episode, I don't know, 24 or whichever, or 25, where we're launching our Eve probe, I might post a link to the episode where I have actually built it. So if you were really curious in terms of how to build the craft, you will get a link in the description below. Okay, with that out of the way, let us see. Now we have apoapses of which are burning down, so hopefully getting 16 by 16, somewhere around that, or 16 by 14, that's good enough. And I'm thinking that I like this crater on which I'm planning to land, and yeah, so I'm setting up maneuver node that would set me on a trajectory towards that crater. I'm not exactly sure which crater it is though, but yeah, we'll see when we get there. Coming ever so slowly, and by the way, not having my icon showing on my map view is really kind of disorienting, to say the least. But I'm still checking when is the estimated burn when looking at the nav ball, so I think we're pretty much covered. Okay, now that we have reduced our orbit, time to extrude the legs, and somewhere around here I'm planning on probably doing a full stop, so that's 541 meters per second, and that's a burn of 1 minute and 52 seconds. So we have to think about that when we will be comparing that to our impact time, which is on the right of our altimeter on one of those two panels that you see above. So I'm aligning myself towards that maneuver node, and as we are coming up on it, I'm starting to slowly reduce our orbital velocity anyway, because it's not important where in the crater we land, it's more important that we land in the crater. So yeah, so I'm here just reducing our velocity because I'm concerned, due to our low thrust to weight, that we wouldn't be able to stop in time before the collision. So now we're passing highlands, and pretty soon, polar lowlands. I'm just gathering science as quickly as I can. And then we have the east crater. So this is the crater that we've wanted to stop in, so I might as well start burning and delete the maneuver node. So now the point is to basically stop as quickly as possible and to kill our horizontal speed so that we can land vertically. And while doing so, we need to also check where we will be landing, because the slope does play a difference on the moon. There are some really hard slopes, so we might want to keep our eye on that. And also we have to keep our eye on the impact time. So I've probably talked about this before, but my method of landing is wait until impact time comes to, let's say, 40 seconds, then pump it up to 45, and then to 30 to 35, 20 to 25, 10 to 15, etc., etc. So that helps me not to burn too much fuel, but I'm also looking down at where I would be landing, and I really don't like the sight of that crater below, because that could imply that we are actually using that those are the slopes below. So we want to have a little bit more flat area, and now I'm reducing our velocity because right now it seems that we would be landing on this area between these couple of craters, and actually slope confirms 3.3 degrees, which is just perfect. So yeah, our impact time is dropping to 55. I'm just thrusting ever so carefully, but now our surface velocity is 22, so that's really not a big problem when it comes to, Okay, turning the lights, because the lights will be able to tell us when we are really close. It's a little bit tricky with the moon. From the high you only see the craters, but you don't see the slopes. But everywhere you have a rim, it's usually a bad idea to be close to it. So that's why I was looking for a space that's sort of in the middle. And we have 20 seconds to impact, and now I'm thrusting. Just make sure to increase that. So once again, 20 to impact. I have effectively killed all of our vertical velocity, and now I'm just thrusting ever so carefully to maintain some surface. Oh, reaction wheel failure. Oops. I'm now slightly concerned. I'm trying not to angle the ship too much, because it might be that it won't respond that much. So fortunately enough, this engine has thrust vectoring, so I still have some well, pitch yaw and roll authority here. If I didn't have an angling, well, a thrust vectoring engine, I would be in some real trouble. That's why, guys, when you're building, you always want redundancy. I mean, thrust vectoring engine plus an SAS control gives you a good enough authority. But if I killed now the engine, I would probably won't be able to steer. And also a tank of oxygen is leaking. Wonderful, so I get 2 failures. Dang it, is really getting to me this time. Anyway, we have successfully landed. So these things are more annoying than the real problem. So crew report, gravity scan, laser surface scan, magnetometer. I'm just hitting the experiments as I go because this beeping is going slightly on my nerves. So I'm thinking I'll probably have to kill it off later. Okay, mystery goo. Probably if it was something more urgent, I would probably go and fix it immediately. However, given the fact that I know that I have enough oxygen and everything, I can allow myself to do first the science parts and then take care of the rest. However, if you take a look at our oxygen is depleting and half of it has gone, so yeah. However, if you look at the life support monitoring, we still have 75 days worth of oxygen, so we had like more than plenty. So now we're kind of looking at, okay, apply duct tape. I need 1 spare. Okay, fine, let's take a spare and apply duct tape. So and I need 2 spares to repair the wheel, so I'm taking 1 spare, taking another spare, so I have 2 spares, and then I'm fix the reaction wheel. So there, we fixed the reaction wheel and our oxygen is no longer dropping. So that fixes our problems for today, I guess. And now it is time to go and plant a flag, obviously in the east crater. So, coming down. Okay, so surface sample and EVA report. Surface sample, combination of breccia and melted materials, great. EVA report, come on. Alright, I had 1 EVA report already in. Maybe it's a duplicate, I'm not exactly sure, but it doesn't hurt to go up and store our experiments before we actually... Okay, stop fooling around, please. Okay, grab and board. Or actually, store the data. Okay, now I have again available for the EVA report. Surface sample we already did. Okay, so plant a flag. Proudly displaying the flag of GrunfWorks. And this is East Crater conquered. Wonderful. And let us take the EVA report. You feel a peculiar quake. You look behind you. There is a meteor impact where you were just walking. Wow, you don't say. Okay, so that's pretty much when it comes for the data collection, and time to go back. So, shall we? Just careful not to hit the solar panels. Grab. And board. Yeah, dump the experiments because they were duplicates anyway. Okay, time to go home. So from here I will be flying eastwards. I'm just figuring out where exactly that is. And off we go. Okay, retract the landing legs. And the magnetometer boom is still deployed. Oh well. Well, since there is no air resistance, it doesn't bother us that much anyway. Stage separation. And I'm actually thinking, why not retract the magnetometer boom? It's sticking out way too much. Okay, so setting up the maneuver node to get to the orbit. Okay, so this is like a single site that we visited. We'll probably be able to go on more sites, however I'm just eager to get some science to get our program further along. We did build our Eve probe, but still, I mean, we have Joule window that would be coming up also soon, if you see here, and for that we need some more technology to be able to not only to go there but also to communicate to Joule, because I'm not 100% confident that our communitrons would be able to cut it that far. So now I'm just tweaking the maneuver node, trying to figure out where exactly should I burn to get a nice encounter with Kerbin. And I'm looking for the periapsis of roughly 25 kilometers, or around 20, which is useful for aero braking and aero capture. So we want to basically be aero braking at Kerbin and make sure that we get captured as well. And yeah, they said around 20 something, so I'm now just quickly trying to pop up some experiments, but some of them were clearly duplicates. And yeah, setting up a time warp, getting challenged ever so carefully from the Highland craters, and to get some science. EVA report, orbital telescope, because why not? By the way, this is a pretty nice view of Kerbin from the moon, and yeah, time accelerating until our maneuver node. Oh, gathering some more science, because why not? That's what we are here for anyway, aren't we? So okay, and 10 minutes to our maneuver node and time acceleration. Alright, 2 minutes, so we will be burning quite soon. Okay, and stopping the time acceleration, and it's time to perform our burn. So hitting the gas, extruding our lunar orbit, and getting out of the moon's sphere of influence and towards Kerbin. So now I'm just trying to see and get some. Okay, so 91, we need to reduce that to some 20 something. Okay, 21, yep, that's good enough. Kill the maneuver node, and time to leave moon. So rolling and taking a nice position so that we can see the moon going away from us this time. Bye moon, we will be coming back to you soon enough. Hopefully next time we will be able to cover more biomes, and I'm kind of leaning towards rover might actually be ideal for that. On the Minmus, the gravity was so low, so I really wanted to have a science hopper, but on the Moon it's significant enough, and the hopper isn't maybe that efficient, so I figured maybe, well, why not? Let's do a rover, and it will be a good test, because in future we will want rovers on maybe Eve or Duna or whatever. So yeah, why not? And I'm here setting up a maneuver node here, just to make sure that I align myself orbit retrograde at that point in time. So it's not that I'll be doing any burning, it's more just to get my orientation just right. So yeah, now we're coming up on Kerbin, and yeah. Okay, here it is, Kerbin. Looking beautiful as ever, especially with environmental enhancements and this is not better atmosphere, this is Astronomer's Visual Pack Beta. I think it was pulled out, so the only Interstellar remains, but I actually really like the way this one looks. Okay, seems that we are coming up over the deserts. Yeah, that's where we went actually in the last episode. We visited the tomb of the Tutanjeb. And also we tested our experimental space plane. So I'm trying to, or not a space plane, but a plane. Supersonic plane. So I'm hoping with the plane program we will be coming towards the direction of more orbital hops and then towards the actual SSTOs. And once we get there, hopefully our construction program will be advanced enough so that we can build some stations, space stations in the orbit around Kerbin, and that we can use as a starting point for further on. Oh, and are we actually coming up on the KSC? Looks like that peninsula, yeah. And this is like the island runway, so I'm kind of starting to thrust in, hoping to actually reduce our velocity and come towards the actual KSC, maybe aim for the island runway. But I was first trying to get to the KSC, but my thrust weight is so low that I couldn't actually. So now when I'm flying almost over it, I'm trying to angle and maybe hope turn my trajectory towards the island. However, I don't think I have enough delta V or the thrust to actually be able to do so. Which I said, I think it would be insanely cool if we managed to actually land on the runway. Well, it's my own problem. When I was coming in, I didn't really bother to check where I was going, so well, no matter, we'll still land close enough so the boys from the KSC will still be able to pick us up. And basically I have expanded all of our delta V, so just time to pop the chutes. We are coming really close to the runway though, but yeah. We can see the flag that we have set last time, and yeah, so okay. Going down ever so gently. The parachutes are lowering us at 5 meters per second, so hopefully everything should survive. And I'm also a little bit concerned because this lander is pretty tall, so if it flips down, maybe something gets torn off, but let's be optimistic here. And something did fall down, but it didn't get destroyed. So gathering the last bits and bobs of science and recovering the vessel. Alright, so that should yield us some science at least. So let's see. Total of 955 science. We have 962 science altogether, and Gregkin has gotten himself some ribbons. So, which brings us to the end of this episode. I hope you like the episode. Like if you like the episode, and hit the subscribe button to the GrunfWorks channel for more KSP and naval action content. Thank you very much for watching. This is GrunfWorks signing off.